All right, just finished up with the Miken Pro M1 Josh Riley edition. If you haven't seen that one, be sure and check that one out after you watch this one. What we're swinging now is the AXE Scorched Inload ASA 26 ounce. Big thanks to Dennis for getting this to us so we can swing this thing. AXE has been pumping out some pretty good stuff. I've heard a lot of good things about their ASA stuff. Haven't had a chance to try it out yet. Told him I was going to be grabbing one. He's like, well, here, I'll just send you this one. So big thanks to him. We're going to check this thing out and see what it's got. Available at headbangersports.com. Use code BPHero or hit your boy up and get you one. Out here back at Old Minor Field here in Moberly, Missouri. Basically 290 all the way around. About an 80-degree day. And we're hitting nothing but 52s with this bat. Evil BP 52 pluses and 52 300 game balls are the balls of choice for this. Don't remember how many swings this had on it. I want to say roughly around 200 or so. So it's a little bit broken in by the time we get to it. And this one is a 26, and it is end-loaded, and there's nothing listed, but it does feel like about a ½ ounce of end-load. As a whole, the bat did feel like a 26, but with no actual amount of end-load listed, I'm only guessing it's supposed to be a ½ ounce. It was very subtle for being a ½ ounce. It still provides some drive compared to what a balanced bat would, but definitely not anything overwhelming by any stretch of the imagination. This is a two-piece bat with a composite handle and a composite barrel. And the handle is just like all the other AXE handles. It is stiff, but not in a way that kills your hands. Only time you even notice if it was a two-piece was if you missed down towards the end at all. The barrel on this is 12.75 inches, and the literal first thing I thought when I put a swing on this bat was DeMarini Juggy. The sound and the feedback all made me think of the Juggy line from DeMarini. It had that typical good but not great type of sound, and the feedback was a feel that gave you enough to let you know that you were hitting the ball well, and the sweet spot was a decent size for being a linear design, the Juggies were, and having a low swing count. It'll be something that is going to need to be broken in. I will tell you that for sure. Let's check out the compression tester here, and then I'll give you my thoughts on this thing. So the nice thing about the design of this bat when it comes to testing it is there's no need for conversion charts. There's no need to carry around a list to make sure if you see it passes or not. If it's in the red, it fails. If it's in the white, it passes. Super easy. This one's coming in at 1750 when we got started. And since this one had some swings down on it already to get it broke in, there's really no need to put a ton on it. We were able to get what we needed out of it with about, I'd say, 75 or so. And you can see it's coming in about 1725 or so. About what we expected. This thing's going to come down nice and slow and probably be considered pretty durable for an ASA bat. So when I review a bat that I'm not familiar with, I try not to watch or read anything about said bat until I can swing it for myself, just to have the most open outlook possible without having my mind skewed one way or another based on what I've seen or read beforehand. And with that said, this one threw me for a loop from swing one. Based on what we know about the AXE USSSA bats and the technology that they have inside of them to make them withstand being hit on one side, it's without a shadow of a doubt that I expected this one to feature something similar, just because that technology works really well, not only for making the bat durable, but absolutely crushing the ball too. And quick side note here I want to mention while I'm cutting up this voiceover, you don't necessarily need that technology when you're hitting a 52-300 ball. That ball does hardly any impact on the barrel at all, so there's no need to try and cater to it being hit on one side like these flared handles need to be. You're going to be just fine if you're hitting nothing but 52s. The first ball I made contact with, though, I immediately knew something was different from what I was expecting. I took a few more swings and then had Quentin throw me a hard ball or two, and that was all I needed to know to figure out that the barrel was in fact a linear design. So there's no performance inserts, there's no sleeves, there's no anything. This is just a traditional bat. There's no inner barrel technology. Wow. And I will say that I was a little let down by that just because I went into it having high hopes to see what they were capable of in the ASA space with a similar technology to the USSSA bats, just to find out that they went with a straight traditional design on this model. And by no means was this the end of the world, but it completely derailed my thought process for this review. If you followed the channel for a decent bit of time, you know I am a fan of DeMarini Juggy line, which is what I'd directly compare this bat to. The Juggy also features a linear barrel design, so no performance tech inside of it or anything like that. So the sound, responsiveness, and performance were basically the exact same in my opinion. And it probably does sound like I'm just dragging this bat through the mud, but it was honestly more of just me ranting that they went with the tech that they did for this when we know that the USSSA model is so good. Linear designs are still great performers, but they do need a decent amount of swings to get broken in most of the time. Just to be able to perform like a top tier bat is basically their only downfall. They're going to be extremely durable, and most of the time you can even get away with hitting hard stuff with them as well. I'm not going to go out and tell you to do that with this bat, but you're going to stand a better chance of this thing living a longer life hitting hard stuff than you would if you were to buy something like a Monster or a Pure or something like that. This bat definitely won't be a game changer, but if you're gaming one of these flared non-bats for the USSA side of things and you want to keep that same feeling for an ASA bat, this is going to be a solid grab. Or if you're looking to mix it up with ASA bats, this would also be a solid grab for you as well. Maybe a team bat, maybe something, trying to try something off the wall, whatever you want. It's going to perform good, but not great until you really get a lot of swings on it. But it's going to be something that can handle a lot of BP, and that's a big plus these days when it comes to just about any bat, regardless of sanction. So huge thanks to Quentin for coming out and pitching to us on this night, kind of racing the daylight here. The lighting's kind of crappy, so I do apologize for that. Thanks to Dennis for sending this bat out. Kind of short, quick, and to the point with this one, though, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Sweetheart, in case you hit it, BP here. Catch you next time.